what's up you guys, this is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and today on Dress to Kill, we're going to be taking a look at my favorite Syandanas. Now, I have actually gone ahead and broken them down into some different categories for you, one being available for Platinum, the other one being Special. I know that sounds really weird, but that's the only category that it could fit in. And then of course we have our Tennogen Syandanas, which will be the last ones of the bunch. Now, I did want to give you a little bit of a heads up. There are a couple things to note. First and foremost, yes, I am in a different chair. This is a very different angle for me, so if I end up falling out of frame at any point in time, I highly apologize. If the lighting's kind of off, I highly apologize, but I kind of broke my chair a little bit during the IRL stream and I didn't realize it. I kind of snapped it by like squiggling around and reaching for all of those crazy. If you were there, you saw how many bottles I had and I had to reach for and dig for and all that kind of stuff. So I put my chair through the works on that one, so I'm currently using a dinner chair. However, the next bit is a little bit more interesting than sad look into my real life. But I do have something that I get to spoil for you guys. I've been pushing for it, and I was like, oh my god, please, can I just show them this? I've known about this for a little bit, but finally we got some cool images today that I will be sharing after the Tennogen portion, so I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know. It should be coming. I feel like it's confirmed to be coming, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not my control, and it's not my thing to spoil, even though I did get permission. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into our first for Platinum Syandana, which is the Salic Syandana. Now, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. If you just take a look at it, number one, the crafting on it is amazing. I love the layering, and that was the biggest thing for me. There was another Syandana that was on the list, which was the Centauria Syandana. And then I took another look at it as compared to the Salic Syandana, and I was like, dude, the Salic Syandana shits on it. I mean, the Centauria was supposed to have like 3 different distinct layers on it, but it just kind of like fell into one mesh. This, if you look closely, this sits on top of this layer, this sits on top of this layer, and that sits on top of another layer. 3 independent layers, and they all look absolutely gorgeous together. I love the asymmetry of it, and I love the gradation that is created by it. So it's got, number one, it's got little metal bits, because you know me, I like my metal bits, but here's the best part. Is this gradation where you can really mess around with the look. It's understated, but it's also big enough to be kind of like a statement piece. So it's like a statement piece, it's just not a gaudy one. Now, if you do want something that's a little bit different, that's got a little bit more punch, there is one that is available during the holiday season only, so it's kind of like a special event one, which is the Salic Solstice Syandana. It's got a little bit of the Celtic patchwork, not patchwork, but like etching to it. I think it looks really nice. It's great to kind of like bump up the visuals of the Syandana. However, I do have to admit, you kind of go back and forth on them. I take either one. I think they are both gorgeous. So if you get a chance, this is definitely one that I suggest you pick up. Okay, so in yesterday's video, I mentioned the primed version of the Syandana, and now we are going to take a look at its unprimed version. And I'm going to be honest with you, both of them kind of, they kind of fall in par with each other, at least I think so. Mainly because of the fact that both of them, it really comes down to the shape of the flames, and the Pyra Syandana gives a different look than the Pyra Prime Syandana. It's actually a little bit less bulky, so it can work on some other frames, and it's got a different shape to it. So really, at the end of the day, what it all boils down to is, how do you want it to look from the background? Do you want it to look like a big old butterfly, or do you want it to look more like a little bit of a waterfall of flames? Either way, it's up to you. I think it's beautiful and wonderful, and as you can see, it's really just this crest right here, and it's got like some spiky bits to it. Let's see if you can actually see it. There you go. I think the design is pretty fucking gorgeous even without the flames. Let's turn down the flames. Let's can we, is that an option? No, there's no option to tune down the flames. You can kind of see it a little bit better there, where it's a little bit ghostlier, and you can actually see the metal bits to it. So there are metal bits to it, which allow it to qualify for my metal bit requirement for Syandanas. Regardless, I think it is absolutely gorgeous, and it's definitely a nice option. Maybe you can't get your hands on the Pyra Prime Syandana. This is definitely something that will fill that gap for you. Alright, so this next one definitely flew under the radar for me. I think I like featured it in one video, and I didn't really talk about it too much. However, the more that I look at it, the more I really quite enjoy it, and that would be the Lucra Syandana. I love the effects, I love the geometry on it. You guys know that I like pieces that are like strong on the back. and just kind of sit on the back. Now, I don't know what it is with DE and Syandanas that like to drag on the floor. I'm not a big fan of that, so I really like the fact that they kept this just right above the floor, so it almost kind of floats there, and it's got, you know, all of the ticker tape that comes down. I love like energy effects that kind of grab your eye, so I'm a big fan of this, and I'm also a big fan of the fact that they have a couple dual metallics on there. I always talk about like, ooh, I like my Syandanas to have a little bit of metal, and legitimately I like it because it's like this matte metal, which you don't really see too much, but the thing is, it still has a little bit of shine off of it, which, you know, some of the more plasticky textures, like, ooh, I'm gonna try to pretend to make this a metal, which aren't like true metals. These ones are true metals, they're just a little bit more matte, so they're not like super ridiculously shiny like the primed ones are, which can bother people if you're a little bit OCD about that. It bothers me just a little bit, but I will let them pass on it because you can mix, as you can see, like this soft kind of rose goldy metal with like a grayer metal, and I really like that look. So if you guys are looking to change things up a little bit and represent for your corpus folks, this is definitely a way to I'm gonna go. Alright, now I'm gonna be completely honest with you on this next one. It barely made the list, alright? So the Igaro Syandana, I really went back and forth on. I'm like, how much do I really like it? And to be honest with you, I actually want to give a big thumbs up to this one. It's got cool layering to it, so if you guys can't quite tell, there's actually this top layer which contains the 4 different kind of like petally areas, and then we've got this middle bit that I think is pretty cool. It doesn't have the greatest physics in the world, there's some weird shit going on with it right now, but I do quite like these energy effects, and it almost kind of harkens to the, oh my god, the saggy boob Syandana from yesterday. What is it called? Ooh, the Capella Prime Syandana. It reminds me very similarly of that, even this portion up here. To be completely honest with you, I'm really not a big fan of the Syandanas that kind of come out in like a stark A. However, there's something about this one that's a little bit whimsical, so I actually was looking at putting it on like Octavia with the romance color scheme that I had going on. I thought it fit really well with the Morgan skin. For Mirage. I think it just looks really pretty on her, and it's a very feminine Syandana. So if you guys are looking for something to soften things up a bit, whether it's on your Mirage or maybe your bright pink Rhino, I don't know, you do however you want to do, but I think this actually fits quite well, especially because it's so whimsical. It feels really light and a little bit different from the other ones that we've been seeing, especially as compared to like the hard, you know, like all the like I had a fiery Syandana that like attached to the back, and then like another metallic Syandana that just like smacked to the back. This one is a little bit softer, a little bit easier to put on frames that are maybe a little bit more delicate. Alrighty, so now we are moving on to our specialty segment, which isn't really all that big because it's like 2 Syandanas that I really can like put my weight behind, and trust me, I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, these are pretty much the only 2. However, technically they're not available for plat. So the first one is the Prisma Hectate Syandana. Now, for those of you who don't remember, this is a spin off of the original Rakta Syandana, and this is also a spin off of the Hectate Syandana. Now, the other 2 did not make it on the list, and this one is weird because I have this odd, like, love for it. I don't ever use it in any customizations, but, like, deep in my soul, there's just something that loves the kind of, like, waterfall-y prismatic effect. We've seen the prismatic effect on lots of other things before, but for some reason, for me, like, the prismaticness always shows up really well on this, and it's not too big or obtrusive that you can't put it on, that it kind of, like, takes over the whole back of the frame. So it's just this nice, like, flow of prismaticness over the back without it being just too obnoxious. I kind of like it, and I think this is definitely something you should check out. I believe this is available in barrow stock, so keep an eye out for that. Now, let's be real. Y'all saw this coming. This had to be on my list of favorite Syandanas. I have like 4 of these Syandanas. I'm not even kidding you. I literally have 4, and then I have 1 just bog standard one, okay? So this is the Telos Syandana, and I have been a big fan of this one for such a long time. Number 1, it actually works really well with several armor kits, even like the Edo Prime armor kit, because of the weird ridges that it has on its back, like these little tong things. As you can see, it works really well with the Volt armor pieces. So as you can see, you toss it on there and it's just this cool like statement energy piece. And in all honesty, it kind of inspired the Officium Syandana. I really wanted a Syandana that like attached to the back, had some cool energy effects to it, and was just like graphical and strong. As you can see, it's not flowy, it's not touching the ground, it's not too obtrusive. In fact, you could barely see it from the front, but you got little whispers of it, and that's what I liked. I liked the little whispers of it as you moved, and it's cool because, you know, as you go through a mission and you kill things, like this thing just gets bloodier and bloodier, and that's a really awesome effect. I don't really feel like I need to say too much for it because I used to wear it all the time, and you're gonna, you know, still see it on a whole bunch of my frames because that's where a lot of my arcanes are. I just think that it's a good staple piece, and this is available from the Arbiters of Hexus. You have to be, I think it's like the top tier with them, and it's some cost of some favor to them. I don't know, like blowjobs or something. I don't know what their path is. They're weird. Anyway, this is definitely one that you should try and grab. It's an easy grab. There's no platinum involved. You don't have to farm relics or anything. Well, technically you might have to get the ranks, but it's just a great staple piece, and I believe in it so much that I own like 4 of them. Alright, so moving along, we're going to jump into Tennogen. Now, if you guys don't know what Tennogen is, it is available through the Steam Workshop, which means that you will have to launch Warframe through Steam and then like shop through the market there, and it is only available for cash. So you can't use it for platinum unless you are on console, because I do believe that you can pick things up for platinum on console, but on PC it's all cash, and honestly it's worth like every fucking penny. Well, you decide whether it's worth every penny, but I think that the artistry and the effort that goes into Tennogen skins, I'm just like mind blown. I mean, it's come down to the point that I feel bad saying this, DE, don't listen to what I'm saying next, but legitimately, it's come to the point where when DE puts out something that is really, really good, we say, oh my god, that's like Tennogen good, wow. And it feels so bad, but it's true, because the Tennogen Syandanas, like, I hate to say it, absolutely fucking put DE's Syandanas through the ringers, and this is the perfect case of one. And this is the Repla Syandana. I put an arcane on this one, baby. Look at how gorgeous this is. I don't even think that I need to introduce this. This was in the last round of Tennogen, and it's just look at it. Just look at the flow. I know it's got some clipping issues, but oh baby, sweet baby, look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the thing about it too is you not only do you get the cool sheen, not only do you get the cool like what do you call them, like rivet plating, I don't know what it's called, a little bunching of fabrics, but you also get the texture work in there, and also kind of like the frayed edges. Now personally for me, I don't really like frayed edges, but I guess it does kind of make it look a little bit more badass. And I believe, I'm just gonna triple check my work. Yep, it is by Master Noob, and in fact, 3 of the Syandanas, including this one, on my Tennogen list are Master Noobs. So he's fantastic when it comes to these things. And let's actually go ahead and move on. Like, this speaks for itself. I don't need to say shit about this. Fucking look at it. It's gorgeous. Let's go ahead and move on to something else he's done. Alright, so real talk, this Syandana is actually the Syandana that got me to make this episode. And I know that seems really weird to just be inspired by one single Syandana, but this was actually, I believe, in the first wave of Tennogen, and I don't think that it gets as much love as it should, and this is the Rhoda Syandana. This is legitimately like what started it all. I was like, wow, this is what we can do with Tennogen, and it's so simple, but it's just perfection. Like, it's really, really great. It's just kind of like, to be honest, it's basically like one of those doom orbs, you know, in the void. It's like one of their energy plates, and it's like zhuzhed up. It's got like cool metallic works to it. It's got like all of the embellishments, like the silky fabric. This was silky fabric before we had silky fabric. I don't think we had silky fabric back in the day. Back in my day, we didn't have silky fabric. But legitimately, I think this was the first Syandana that featured silky fabric, and there are 3 distinctive dangly parts on there. Yes, yes, DE, I'm still bitter about the Centuria Syandana looking like it's lasagna pieces stuck to each other. I still am, because there was so much potential. It nearly made the list. I'm bitter. Anyway, I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and the way that this picks up color, you can't really see it right now with my color selection, but wow, fucking fuck, man. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. It's fucking gorgeous, right? Look at the blues. Look at that teal. All of that is absolutely amazing. Deepen up that teal a little bit. Ooh, it's looking all luxurious. But you see the way that it takes colors. This texture didn't exist back in the day, and this is why I was kind of like, I need to go back and I need to show everybody this Syandana. So let's talk about all of our favorite Syandanas, because there are some that some people may have missed, and in fact, Master Noob's got another one that I want to show you that I think is absolutely gorgeous as well, and kind of almost has roots in the Repla Syandana that we just saw. Alright, so this next one I absolutely love. It kind of falls into the whole theme of luxury. Like, he's got a really luxuriousness to him, and this is the Nasaru Syandana. Number one, I think it looks fantastic because, again, it's not way too over the top. There's some frames that have some great backplating. I know that sounds really, really weird, but like, I know that Valkyrie Prime has that kind of like opening that almost looks a little bit like a flower or a mini eruption across the back that I think looks fantastic. I know that Loki has like a spike that comes out of his back that looks really badass too. And I believe Rhino Prime's got that widgety thing in the back. Now, this is one of those things that's really, really cool because it doesn't close off the back. There are so many Syandanas that literally just say, bloop, your whole back is covered, and you know, maybe in like Oberon Prime's case, that's like a good idea. But if you want to put a sigil on the back, and you want something to like frame that sigil, this is an amazing Syandana for that. And you can see the reflections off of the ribbons. Like, he's fantastic with this like, with this really like rich silky fabric. And he was able to do it in such a way where it's different, it's graphical, it's very strong, you know, he's got little dangly bits at the bottom, and it's asymmetrical. So, I mean, I don't know. It just ticks a lot of boxes for me. It's got all the medals, and it's just, it's statement without being over the top. And I'm definitely a big fan of that. All right, so I know I just like said statement without being over the top, and I think that this might be pushing it just a little bit, but this Daru Syandana has me shook. I will be honest with you. Like, now, I'm gonna be real. The first time that I saw this, the fabric on it was not like all quite there. Like, they didn't have as much motion in the energy effects, but they fixed that shit and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm sure you guys have seen it featured in like my Oberon Feyark skin. I put it on, I'm pretty sure that I put it on one of my Octavia skins, but it's amazing. I think it's fantastic because you guys know that I like that structured back piece. So as you can see right here, it's a nice strong structured back. It's got the metallics that I really, really like. And it's got a cool flowing energy effect too, but it's an energy effect that is the fabric. So what happens is you can still see through it. So if there are cool back details, kind of like this cool back piece that we have on Loki over here in the Incubus skin, you can still see it. So it's there, but it's not obtrusive. So its statement, and is a pretty big statement. I mean, like, look, it's pretty massive off of the fucking back. Let's be real. But the flowy bits still give it a little bit of air so that you can kind of see what's going on. So it's a strong statement, but it's not necessarily like a gaudy statement. It's close, but not quite. Okay, so this one I definitely had to revisit, mainly because of the fact that I believe in an old episode I had said that it was really, really difficult to color because of the fact that it didn't quite jive with certain armor pieces. But now that we have Syandana and attachments on completely different channels, this, I think, is absolutely amazing, and you just need to take one quick look at it right now to know. I mean, I don't really need to say too much. Legitimately, they've taken a scarf, they've layered it up, and then they've actually allowed the fabric to glow. I am amazed. I think this was actually absolutely gorgeous. I'm glad that we have it on different channels now so that we can really customize the look of it. But straight out of the gate, this is fantastic. And I know there's some weird physics things going on because I've got Octavia happening with it. But honestly, I think this is definitely one of the go-tos. If you like something a little bit more disheveled, if you like something a little less polished, and a little bit more, I guess you want to say scraggly? It's like scraggly, but it's scraggly in a pretty way. And I know it's touching the ground, and I know that this is like one of my pet peeves. However, I will let it get away with it just because I don't feel like this one is too ridiculously over the top. Like, some of the ones are like all over. I'm like, listen, no. This is nice and airy. When you move, it twirls. Look at that twirl, right? But it doesn't like completely cover all your body. I love it. I like it. And especially, I mean, like, look at it from the back too. You just see these two glowy ribbons coming down the back. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, now this next one, I am 150% torn on whether I should show you or not, because I'm not fond of the creator at all. I find him to be extremely unprofessional. I don't like the way that he responds to people in his comment section, and I think he's a detestable human being, and I have no clue why he is going to be at Tennogen this year. What? Actually, this right here, so for those of you guys who don't know, this is my collaboration with Hitsu-san, who is absolutely amazing and talented, and I actually have to give him more credit than I would ever take for this. I did the concept art for this, we sent it in, and it looked a different way, as you guys probably saw from the trailers that I had put out for it, and then they were like, well, let's make it look a little more corpusy. Legitimately, I turned around and was like, oh, I'm gonna do some sketches, yada yada yada, and then like Hitsu-san's like, I'm already working on it. And this, like, all of the details on the triangle are all his beautiful, wonderful work. I did do the energy effects myself. I'm just inputting that right there. not to completely take away anything from me, but as you guys know, as I had stated earlier, I was heavily influenced by the Syandana. I really wanted a statement piece for the back that just wouldn't be completely too over the top, had cool energy effects on it, but didn't completely dominate the entire thing. Now, we worked on this, and let's see if we can get a good shot on it. It's actually projector. So that's the thing that I love, because it's not just a flat image of a disc on the back. As you can see, there's actual layers to it. So both the outer ring and the inner ring are actually two different layers. And then, as you can see, the projection up there floats slightly above the triangle. And it's little details like that that make me feel like I'm so proud of it. And you can also see there's a projector energy effect off of it. Okay. Oh, I have to, full disclosure, just so that you guys are aware. If you buy the Syandana, you are supporting me as a content creator. I make money off of this on PC. So if you're purchasing off PC, it is helping support the channel. Some people may not want to do that because, you know, I am a terrible human being that they find extremely unprofessional. Whatever. But I do have to say that I wouldn't create something that I didn't love. And I think this was one of my, like, oh, I need to make something as good as this, which to me is a little bit of a challenge because I'm a talentless hack. That's what it is. Now, moving on from one of my creations onto another creation. Actually, you know what? Before that, I do have to mention a couple other Syandanas. I want to kind of put this out into the universe. There are a couple other Syandanas from round 8 that I was looking at picking up, and I'm still looking at picking them up. However, I am waiting for funds to transfer into other things because I'm too lazy to transfer them myself. So I'm just gonna be patient. So there may be a couple more that I do end up wanting to add to the list. There's like that cool rotation Syandana with the thing that I said looked like emojis, but I'm kind of like into it even more now than I was then. So I don't know, my body, I'm gonna have to hold off on picking them up. However, these are my selections for now. And now moving on to the really cool bit that I can't wait to tease for you guys. The teasing. Alright, so I am not 100% sure if you guys are familiar with this particular skin right here. So as you can see, this is actually one of the first Grax skins that came out, and that was Grax Nova, and this is by Faven_PS. Or is it? No, yeah, it's Faven_PS. I was just making sure that I didn't use letters for the parts. Listen, it's really late while I'm recording this, but I'm putting this out there into the universe that I'll be honest with you, as you guys know, this is not necessarily a skin that I featured. It was not necessarily one of my favorite of the Grack skin collections. I don't think it's a terrible skin. However, as time goes on, and this is one of the coolest things about Tennogen, is you see artists develop. You see where they started, and then you see where they end up. And some of the people I'm actually, as I'm watching certain artists develop, I'm like, wow, you guys are getting really, really good. Like, I'm getting so excited. I mean, unlike people like Hitsu-san, who was just like magnificent straight out of the gate. And I was like, why you gotta be so magnificent all the goddamn time, Hitsu-san? There's some people that are legitimately kind of started off a little bit slower for me. And, you know, just if I'm gonna be honest with you, and they progressed, and each time they've gotten better and better and better. And I am just blown away. So take a quick look at this skin, because there is something that is going to be happening around it. I don't exactly have the details, but let's go ahead and jump into the spoilers. So welcome to Nova Grax. This is the revamped version of the Nova Grax skin. Now here's the thing, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to be pushed out. If I get Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm sure Faven explained it to me in our DMs, but legitimately, I was just so enthralled by how amazing it looks. Like, the helmet looks absolutely fantastic. I love the way that the body is kind of like put out a little bit better. It looks more current. It looks more like Faven's current work. So this is kind of like transformative. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to take the place of the old Grack skin or if it's just going to be available as another version of the Grack. I don't know. And maybe I'll put it in a pinned comment down below, but we should look at it. It looks so good. I love, like, apparently there's jets. He was trying to get some jets programmed in before I was actually before I actually went ahead and made the video, but of course that was yesterday and it's like 3 a.m. right now, so it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm not even gonna bug him right now, but damn, it looks good. I love the back of the head. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see this. Hopefully this gets in game sooner than later. I don't know what's happening. If you guys haven't already seen too, he also has a trailer for the new Hydroid Grack skin, which looks absolutely fantastic. So you guys get excited for this. I think that this looks absolutely amazing. I will get more details for you as to how this is going to be pushed out, whether it's going to be an edit, whether it's going to be a side-by-side, I don't know. But that about does it for this episode. So thank you all for watching all of me ramble on about all of my favorite Syandanas. Yes, I said all of me, and then I said all of my favorite. Yeah. Listen, it's late. So, I'm gonna leave you guys right now, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!